St. John 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Recha, HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles, and to the elders of great millstone, and to the elect. Peace and salutations. This is James 5 precept, short and spicy, and to the point, and our brother Marco at Great Millstone Jamaica camp, with another quick lesson here to feed the potential elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, I want to speak about the whole New World Order and how here in Jamaica we can see where the Prime Minister is pushing hardly to get this technology, the technology of the mark of the beast and the vaccine and Agenda 2030 on a whole on the forefront, because he's a perfect puppet. And that's the reason why I read the scripture here in John 8 verse 44. It says, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. You understand? And what is the lust of the so-called white man? To bring forth this new world order, to bind us again in another sophisticated type of slavery, which is even worse than the one before we were whipped across our back. Because this one, we are going to be like robots with microchip implant in our brains and in our hands, man. Being a transhumanism, being a transhuman, that's what they call it. Claiming that you're going to be perfect. Well, that's dead. That's not the way of life. That's dead. And you have the wicked among our people that subscribe to this philosophy because they are in their ranks to be where they're at. And the devil have a lot of dirt on them, plus the devil hold them by the balls via sanctions or cutting off certain helps or benefits from them, and various ways, and therefore you have this puppet, Andrew Holness, or Andrew and Holiness I would like to call him, that went to the summit the other day. I think it's the UN, right? And this is published the 29th of September. Right? It says COVID-19, Prime Minister makes digital technology vaccine appeal to world leaders, and he is like the forerunner for this agenda in the Caribbean, because he's a perfect puppet. He's doing what the powers that be want him to do, to the point where he's even disregarding the what's called the CARICOM countries, which CARICOM was formed by, it was first introduced by Mike and Manley, and it is a company of nations, Caribbean nations, which plant and trade among each other to keep them afloat, so to speak. That's the purpose for CARICOM. Now, I'm going to read some things in this article, because I have two articles. It says, Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Tuesday called on world leaders to help developing nations improve digital capabilities, and that's what this devil want, man. He says, addressing a virtual high-level meeting on financing the 2030 agenda for sustainable development in the era of COVID-19 and beyond, Holness said the recovery of developing nations from the coronavirus pandemic hinges on digital technology. And he was told to say these things. And maybe they paint a good picture to him, you never can tell. But what about the part where the masses have to die off the earth for this agenda to appear? But then again, who to tell? Maybe he knows of it, and he was promised a way out with his family. Maybe he was promised a way out. And it shows that these men don't know history, because in history, the devil have never kept his promise, man. At no point in time this man ever kept his promise, yeah? So, he says the increasing use of virtual platforms as an alternative to customary physical engagement for human development and business continuity process processes make it imperative for all countries to have access to digital technology and reliable connectivity, right? And go watch Elon Musk and his Neuralink and his internet that they're rolling out, and yo, it's funny, man. It's beautiful. The Lord had spoken about these things, and here we're reading it in the article. He's spoken about this from the beginning, which shows that we're at the end right now. It says, Holness said, adding that this therefore must be a priority area for support for developing countries. Holness also appealed for COVID-19 vaccines to be made accessible to all countries when they become available. And when you go on these various social media, you see people writing comments. You need, I'm saying to the Prime Minister, you need to take it you and your family first. People are uproaring, really. People are being awoken to what's happening to some level, to some degree. That's the reason why there's going to be some sedition. As a matter of fact, let me get that, yeah? In 2nd Ezra. The scripture did speak of sedition among men, man. Right, so it's in the Apocrypha. Right, so 2nd Ezra 15. Right, verse 16 says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So there's gonna come up because these men have the military and they have the police force. They think that they are safe, and that when this hell break loose, it's gonna be all good for them. It's gonna be okay because they have the power of the sword. But guess what? The people that once voted for you, they're gonna come up against you, man, and then the devil is not gonna be there to deliver you, because it is prophecy, and the scripture tells you that the course of their power, the course of their action shall stand in their own power. So people's gonna do what they want to do, because nevertheless you're gonna have some people that decide, look, we're not taking that mother effing vaccine, and people been hearing about Bill Gates. You have information, even false information. People are going around. We don't know, some true, some false, saying Bill Gates. You have information like Bill Gates buy out the election, Jamaica the election the other day, which I don't believe that shit. But saying that for us to get this vaccine, but people are buying into it, man. And that's the beautiful part of it, because they are being awoken at this very moment. So 2nd Ezra 15 verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for a great tribulation. And see, and you know what's funny? People speaking about this what you call it, the vaccine, and saying the regular Jake, man, regular Jake, and it's beautiful, saying that they're not gonna make the vaccine mandatory, but they're gonna cut off certain services from you if you don't take the vaccine, which basically is being mandatory. And you have regular simple Jakes out there that is seeing that, and they're saying that. So they are seeing that the government is playing this devilish role against them. And people are saying, like, yo, this government thinks we're gonna work with them, we're gonna uprise, we're gonna uproar, and seeing, but in truth and in fact, we're not supposed to uproar carnally, because in uproaring carnally, Yahweh Shem Yashai won't protect us, man. We're supposed to stay in the spirit and give prophecies course to be fulfilled, and make Yahweh Shem Yashai take this man down, man, and take down the wicked among our people, right? He says, also a priority concern is a critical need to ensure that vaccines will be accessible to all countries on a equitable basis. He said the meeting was convened by United Nations Secretary General, and I don't even have to go any further, So you can see where this cunt, this use a British word, this cunt, The British says this fucking cunt. Yeah, pardon me. He's pushing for that agenda, which that agenda it goes back to the devil, man. That's the reason why I read the scripture and say that you are of your father the devil, because this is not Andrew Holness or any of his political members. What should I say? Agenda. No, this is of the devil. No, when you alright, this is in the Jamaica Observer, right? Now look at this again. It says Prime Minister seeking to pass NIDS bill into law before year end. Published 12 September 29 as well. Tuesday. So you can see and the NIDS came, let me see. The NIDS was first introduced to the Jamaican people 2011 under the administration of Bruce Colin. He was a former Prime Minister of the Jamaica Labour Party. Come like all is gonna break loose when that party is in power. However, from then it slipped, and we used to prophesy of it very hard. For years we've been prophesying of it. Well, here it's back in the news again for a couple of years now, and it kind of sleep again, and here it's gonna come back. This time they're trying to bring it, by law. No, it says Prime Minister seeking to pass NIDS bill into law before year end, right? So it says Kingston, Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration anticipates that the National Identification System NIDS will become law by December. We would like before the end of the year this year that we should be seeking to pass the bill into law, Holness said. He was speaking during today's sitting of the House of Representatives. The Prime Minister noted that in April this year, a significant landmark was achieved when Cabinet approved the new voluntary national identification registration policy. He noted substantial changes in the new policy, including voluntary enrollment under NIDS and the use of minimum biometrics, which are fingerprints and facial images and manual signature only. Holness said the new National Identification Registration Bill is completed, and the NIDS Policy Committee, also with the Legislation Committee, a subcommittee of Cabinet, will review the bill. And basically it's going to have everything on it. And for some reason I think that this bill is not the chip is going to bypass this card, this NIDS. See, because if the NIDS comes out and you have to take it, then you see not, because that's the system, that's the image of the beast, but when the chip comes around, which is the mark of the beast, you take that, you're gonna go off, man, because it didn't say you couldn't have the NIDS card, but you're not supposed to receive that mark. And I want to read what's it again? I want to read in Isaiah 33. I want to read this in Isaiah chapter. 1 second. Isaiah 36, right? Isaiah 36, verse 6, it says, "Hello, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed," right? And Egypt, right? Egypt is America, man. This is their philosophy. It says, "Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierced it." So if you trust in the system, if you lean upon the beast, the image of the beast, this system, then that mark is gonna pierce in your hand, which is the microchip, man. Yeah, it says, "So is fear, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." And a lot of people trust in these men, man. But nevertheless, you have a lot of people that don't trust in him. So there's gonna be total anarchy in the streets right now. You have people anticipating a bloodbath in this U.S. election, which I don't think there's gonna be a bloodbath in the U.S. election, and I'm not sure. I'm not the Most High, but I do speak as a man. I don't know what is in the plan of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You know, we know that rioting is gonna come, civil disorder is gonna come. You know, sedition, as I just read in the scriptures, is gonna come. You know, the microchip is gonna come because right now they're pushing for this technology hard. You know, everybody's saying build back stronger, build back better. You know, that's like the tagline, the punch that they're running with at this very moment. You know, to build from the ashes of this world. However, how shy, oh Lord, is gonna put a foot in their plan. Because in Job 20, you know, let me get that. In the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 23, it says, let me start at verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. You know, straits mean in a position of difficulty. It says, every hand of the laborer shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So, when he's about to accomplish his new world order, man, these misses that the Lord gave them the know to make is gonna fall upon them. Because ultimately that's the downfall of the wicked. That's what's gonna throw them down according to prophecy. Right? It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, right? Which is the silo. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So they're not gonna be able to accomplish their new world order because my space is running out. In this new world order, it's not for them. The new world order is gonna be for the nation of Israel, which is actually the making afresh of the law, statutes, and commandments that was placed upon our people by the Lord, man. So you know, everything that's happening in prophecy is beautiful, and we have our puppet leaders, you know, our sellouts. That's gonna taste of the second death, which is the misses, man. You know, the sellout and their hirelings and care not for the sheep. And we know what Yahushua is gonna do to them, our Lord, yeah. Because they want not the sheep of this goddamn wolf that is coming to slay our people. But anyway, my memory is running out, so I want to say all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom.